live, and on your side. This is KTBS 3, 9 o'clock news hour on KPXJ CW21.
Good evening to you, Architects. Welcome to KTBS 3 News Weekend. I'm Madison Edwards.
And I'm meteorologist Caroline Castor. Thanks for joining us.
Let's begin with a look at the I-20 major rehabilitation project. The final phase of construction has begun, which means drivers will see nightly closures this weekend on the eastbound lanes.
Traffic will be diverted from I-20 eastbound anywhere between Hamilton Road and Old Minden Road tonight at 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Last night, traffic slowed to a crawl at Old Minden Road as travelers were diverted to Industrial Drive in order to link back to I-20. It's the same case tonight. Bossier City Police blocking all eastbound entrances to the zone nightly this weekend in order for crews to shift from travel lanes from the right-hand lane to the inside lane.
This afternoon, around 12:30, another 18-wheeler blocked traffic for over 3 hours since it became wedged in the narrow lanes between Old Minden Road and Airline Drive. So let's take a look at alternate routes so you can avoid the traffic altogether to get to your destination safely. So there's a few options. This is an easy way. I-20 is the best way, I think, to get from Shreveport to Bossier over the Red River. But there's plenty of other options for you to take. One of them being just head a little bit further north to the East Texas Street Bridge. You'd go through downtown to come from Shreveport, head over into Bossier, and there's a new carriageway to help you get to your destination. You could also take the Shreveport Barksdale Bridge. It's a little bit further south, but it's another good option. You head further north, though, this would be a more significant detour. You would have to go to 220, but depending on where you're coming from or where you're going, it might not be a bad idea. And then finally, head a little bit further south. Jimmy Davis Bridge is a good option, but I know they're doing a little bit of work there, so that could cause another detour.
That is correct, Caroline. Also, you could get off before Old Minden Road at Hamilton, Benton Road, or Traffic Street. Get on to Barksdale Boulevard, which turns into Old Minden Road, and take it down to Industrial Drive. You will hit that traffic, but you can get away from the off-ramp traffic. And drivers should also know similar work will be done on the westbound lanes in the coming weeks. Travelers will traverse new pavement on the thoroughfare for the first time since it was built in the 1960s. The work is almost done, everybody, but it's still going to be about a year until completion. Now, let's check out the forecast with Caroline.
Thanks, Madison. We had an exciting day weather-wise, I think at least, because we saw rain return to the Arklatex. We also broke a high temperature record. Lots for me to talk about tonight. Some good, some not so good, but let's start with the good, and it's the rain. The fact that we still have rain on the radar, even if coverage is a little bit low, it's something, and it's putting us in the right direction when it comes to adding rain onto our total as we head towards the end of what has been a very dry month. And here's what's left. It's just drizzling at some locations. It's fizzling out as well. We had a few thunderstorms this point tonight, but it has really weakened and decreased in intensity overall as we move further into this evening. Now, this was anticipated today, low coverage rain, but as we head into next week, it gets even better. We do completely switch up this weather pattern. A cold front will be bringing with it likely widespread rain, unfortunately on Halloween. It's a little bit of a trick or treat because we need the rain, but some kiddos might be upset about their trick-or-treating plans if they get rained on. Now, there's a chance it could be done by the time you head out to go trick-or-treat, and that timing is something that we're going to watch very closely over the next few days. Stay tuned, though. Coming up, I'm going to talk all about the forecast for your Sunday, and then into next week when we see more widespread rain return to the area.
All right, thank you, Caroline. New tonight, the Shreveport Fire Department helped save 2 trapped workers from a furnace at a SWEPCO power plant in Shreveport. It happened at the power plant on the 200 block of North Common Street. SFD arrived at around 4 p.m. and worked with SWEPCO personnel to extract the trapped pair. The rescue was completed in under an hour with both individuals safely removed. No injuries were reported. A malfunction of equipment was cited as the cause. Turning now to the election, early voting will be coming to an end soon, and local organizations are encouraging the community to make sure they get their votes in. KTBS 3's Sydney Lane marched with the Divine Nine as they strolled to the polls.
The National Panhellenic Council of Shreveport held its power stroll to the polls. Members of the Divine Nine sororities and fraternities listened to music, ate good food, and then marched across the street to vote together.
It's meant to get people excited about voting. Our ancestors fought for us to have the right to vote, and so we're out here with Jack and Jill, with Power Coalition, with other partner agencies, getting people excited about going to vote.
R.J. Anderson with the MPHC said it's important people know their vote matters.
This is our city, this is our community, and we need to make sure we're making the choices that our community needs to move forward. There are people who died and bled for our right to vote, and so we must carry that legacy on.
The MPHC isn't just promoting current voters to head to the polls, they are also educating the youth on voting.
The MPHC is focused on making sure that our next generation is prepared to be active, civic, engaged citizens. Last Thursday, we had the privilege of having the seniors from Booker T. Washington at Government Plaza, teaching them about voting. The seniors went to vote for their first time.
Anderson said the Divine Nine strolls to the polls together for most elections, and they encourage all community members to join them in the future.
We do this in most of elections, and so we're excited. This is a public event. This is a general community event. You don't have to be a member of the organizations or Divine Nine fraternities and sororities. We just want the community to come out.
Early voting in Louisiana ends Tuesday. In Texas, it ends Friday, November 1st. Arkansas early voting ends Monday, November 4th. And in Oklahoma, early voting begins on October 30th. Sydney Lane, KTBS 3 News.
The group Your One Vote Does Count, along with Barbara Norton, sponsored a Democratic Unity rally today. Community members gathered at Bill Cockrell Park to show support for presidential candidate Kamala Harris. Those who attended also heard from Cleo Fields, who's running to represent Louisiana's new 6th congressional district. A Shreveport neighborhood celebrating their community and culture this weekend. The 24th annual Cooper Road USA kicked off earlier with a parade today led by Shreveport City Councilwoman Tabitha Taylor. She serves as this year's Grand Marshal. The parade was at 11 a.m. at Green Oaks High School, and the festival was happening until about 7 tonight. The kickoff for the Super Retriever Series took place today at the Louisiana Boardwalk. It's a competition where dogs get to flex their retrieving skills and compete in a series of games. Today, several events took place like the Superfly and Raider Run, just to name a few. The dogs diving event will begin again tomorrow morning for the championship.
Oh yeah, this is kind of like the Olympics for dogs, okay? So, and I always kind of compare it to track and field, because they do a long jump and they do a high jump and then they do a race. So those are all the categories. But yeah, this is a big deal for these guys. They travel all over the year to get qualified. They're real proud of their dogs, and these dogs are unbelievable athletes. So yeah, it's a great thing to come out and watch with your family.
Personally, I would love for my family's corgi to try that as well. See those little legs jumping through there. You can check the events out tomorrow at 9 a.m. and ribbon ceremonies are at 4. Moving on, brews and live music are flowing in Shreveport with the Shreveport Brew Festival. It happened earlier at Festival Plaza. Over 100 ales, pilsners, IPAs, and stouts were brewed internationally and domestically. And don't forget the local brews from some of your local breweries in the area.
All the funds go back into the festivals such as Mudbug Madness, the fireworks show. The local breweries are such a big part of our community and our culture, so to be able to come out and showcase them is a big deal.
The Crossties event venue in Texarkana hosted a lively fall festival on Saturday. Judging by the smiles, laughs, and screams, the costume contest ran neck and neck and in competition as each winner was based on the loudest applause. Vendors, food, family activities, and crafts were available as well, and the event wrapped up at around 5 to make way for the grown-up event.